this is for the speaker.
Oh,
and then
okay.
the speaker decides what to do with it
Okay.
afterwards.
Okay. Oh, these are so big. Are there smaller ones? They're too big. Oh, thank you. That's great. That'd be beautiful. Thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Girivarada Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji ki Jai Panchakalpachivasya Kripasinuvyevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vashri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Radha Kalachandji ki Jai All glorious assembled devotees ki Jai. So, my spiritual master, through his unlimited compassion and kindness, opened my darkened eyes, which were covered with ignorance, and he gave me the supreme knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, about the Holy Name, and about Srila Prabhupada, who he introduced me to. So I respect my humble obeisances under my beloved spiritual master. Namo Vishwanaya Krishna Sai Bhutale Shipante Namo Krishna Goswaminiti Namane Namo Vishwanaya Krishna Sai Bhutale Shipante Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Nirvani Pashatate Shtarane Mo Mahavarantana Krishna Premadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaudashe Namaha. So today we are reading from, let's just go there. We're reading from, let's see. Yes, we're reading from Canto 9. And we're going to start reading from the verses 9:27 through 26. I'm sorry, through 36. Thank you. Namo Vishwanaya Krishna Sai Bhutale Shipante Namo Krishna Goswamini Namane. Yeah, it ends the chapter, yes. Chapter 9, and we're reading from 3:27 through 36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Actually, I remember one time when we were living in Denver, we were at City Park, and there was a big program. Everyone was looking up at some planetary things, and there were many people assembled, and there were some young people sitting on some stoops, and they were chanting, Om, Om, Om. So I went up and said, I'm going to teach you another way to chant that mantra. And I said, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And they all repeated several times, so that was fun. That was in Denver. So who would like to begin with text 27, 327? Vaishnav?
King Shayati begot 3 sons named Uttanabarhi, Anartha and Bhurisena. From Anartha came a son named Revata.
O Maharaj Brixit, subduer of enemies, this Revata constructed a kingdom known as Kusatali in the depths of the ocean. There he lived and ruled such tracts of land as Anartya, etc. He had 100 very nice sons, of whom the eldest was Kakudmi.
Taking his own daughter Revati, Kakudmi went to Lord Brahma in Brahmaloka, which is transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature, and inquired about a husband for her.
When Kakudmi arrived, Lord Brahma was engaged in hearing musical performances by the Gandharvas and had not a moment to talk with him. Therefore Kakudmi waited, and at the end of the musical performances he offered his obeisances to Lord Brahma and thus submitted his long-standing desire.
After hearing his words, Lord Brahma, who was most powerful, laughed loudly and said to Kakudmi, O king, all those whom you may have decided within the core of your heart to accept as your son-in-law have passed away in the course of time.
Text 32. 27 Chatra Yugas have already passed. Those upon whom you may have decided are now gone, and so are their sons, grandsons, and other descendants. You cannot even hear about their names. Who's reading?
O king, leave here and offer your daughter to Lord Baladev, who is still present. He is most powerful. Indeed, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose plenary portion is Lord Vishnu. Your daughter is fit to be given to him in charity.
Oops. Oops. Sorry, guys.
34.
Text 35?
34.
Oh, okay. Lord Baladev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one who hears and chants about him is purified because he is always the well-wisher of all living entities. He has descended with all his to purify the entire world and lessen its burden.
Text 35. Having received this order from Lord Brahma, Kakudmi offered obeisances unto him and returned to his own residence. He then saw that his residence was vacant, having been abandoned by his brothers and other relatives who were living in all directions because of fear of such higher living beings as the Yakshas.
Thank you. Text 36.
Thereafter the king gave his most beautiful daughter in charity to the supremely powerful Baladev, and then retired from worldly life and went to Badarik ashram to please Narayana.
Hare Krishna. So the focus verse today is 9:3:32. Okay, let's see. Tad putra pautra naptrinam
Gotrani Chana Shri Made Mahe Kalo Vyakta Strinava Chatur Yuga Vikalpitaha Tatpujan Paudro Nitrinam. Repeat. Gotrani Nacha Shri Mahe Kalo Vyakta Strinava Chatur Yuga Vikalpitaha. So let's just read word for word together. Tat, there. Putra, of the sons. Pautra, of the grandsons. Napitrinam, of the descendants. Gotrani, the family descendants. Cha, also. Na, not. Shimahe, do not fear. Kala, time. Abhyatam, have passed. Tree, 3. Nava, 9. Chatur Yuga, 4 yugas. Sattva, Treta, Dwarpa, and Kali. Vikapita, thus measured. Translation, purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. 27 Chatur Yugas have already passed. 27 Chatur Yugas have already passed, and those upon whom you may have decided are now gone. And so are their sons, grandsons, and other descendants. You cannot even hear their names. We can repeat. 27 Chatur Yugas have already passed, and those upon whom may have decided are now gone. And so are their sons, grandsons, and other descendants. You cannot even hear their names. The time factor, kala, affects us all, isn't it? So, purport, during Lord Brahma's day, 14 Manus, or 100,000 Mahayugas, passed away. And Brahma informed King Kamudi that 27 Mahayugas, each consisting of the 4 periods, Satya, Treta, Dwarpa, and Kali, have already passed. All the kings and other great personalities born in those yugas are now departed from memory into obscurity. This is the way of time as it moves through past, present, and future. Namah Vishwanaya Krishna Bhutale Shrimate Namo Krishna Goswaminiti Namane Hare Krishna. So, so the time factor. So, we're reading, we've been reading about the, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, about all the intrigues that have been happening in the universal management, right? So many we've read in the past. Who became a woman, who was born as Ila and then became a man? Right. So many different pastimes occurred in all of these different universal pastimes, right? Management. And it's not been easy, right? It's not been smooth sailing, is it? Full of challenges, right? So we also, they have their problems and we have ours, isn't it? We have our problems. So, we lived in Denver for 7 years. And at that time also, Jai Gauranga and his wife Tulsi and the children also lived there. And at that time, the weather was very dry, very fresh, lots of, beautiful trees. And you could just go right outside of the city and there were waterfalls and just amazing places to go. So that was Denver. But then we moved here, and I don't know how many of you remember or were here in 2021. But in 2021, in that summer, I think it was 2021 or 2011 actually, and we were visiting here, and the temperature in Fort Worth for 71 days was well over 100 degrees, sweltering. Never experienced anything like this in Denver. But this is, there's problems and challenges in the universal management, and there are big problems here in this earth planet in the material world. So another pastime I remember, and I'm sure all of you remember, in 2021, there was an incredible freeze. And it lasted for several days. We lost all electricity. It was hellish. It was just a really difficult time. And in that time, actually, Tulsi, her husband, and her children came to our home. We have like a gas heater in the living room, and so we had these divided light doors we could shut. So with the children, they were nice and snuggly and warm during this really hellish time. And then our neighbor came over, who had just a very young little son, a little daughter and a little son, and we set her up on the couch, and everyone was snuggly and warm during that time. And my husband and I went into our bedroom and put on our coats because we didn't have heat in there, and our beanies. And in the morning, I remember we made blueberry pancakes, Tulsi and I, right? So, but the point is that there's challenges in the upper planetary systems, and we have challenges here. We can hear all over the planet how many challenges there are. When we lived in Puerto Rico, there was a tremendous storm, and after we left, there were several hurricanes. We know about the challenges that are in this material world, isn't it? So, so they're suffering. The upper lower planetary systems, they're suffering and challenges, and here in this material world we have suffering and challenges. So this is kind of an amazing thing, because Hammudi, I believe he was a prince. I think so. And he he felt he had some really big problems, right? He was trying, first of all, amazing how he could go up and surpass the heavenly planets and go to the topmost planet of Brahmaloka. He had to be a very special soul, isn't it? It's not ordinary people can do this. And so he went there because he felt he had a very big problem, wasn't it? He wanted to get his daughter married. So this is how many Indian families do you think are in anxiety when they have daughters that they want to get married? I think it's, isn't it? I think it's not unusual that he wanted to do this. So I guess when it says, and I wrote this down because I wanted someone to do the math, but Lord Brahma is listening to Gandharvas, and then he gives his request to Lord Brahma, who laughs. He thinks this is a joke, right? He wants to arrange for his daughter Revati to be married, but so much time has passed, and everyone is gone. All of his relatives, his sons, everyone is gone. And so the length of time, he says, is 27 Chatra Yugas have passed. So the length of one Chatra Yuga, consisting of Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, is 4,320,000 is it 4,320,000 years. 4,320,000 years. So who's doing the math? How much is 27 times that? Who has the calculator? 4,320,000. 116 billion 640,000 human years have passed. So he is an illusion, right? So this is a very, very long time. Somehow or another, I think when you have one day of Brahma, I think something like 4,000 something Earth years passed, just one day of Brahma. So he was traveling a long time, and he very long time. So so Maya's very merciful. In the upper planetary systems, there's full of dualities, and here we also experience that. It's too hot, it's too cold, etc. There's so many dualities that we experience here in this material world. And so I think that I was contemplating about this, and I was thinking that this Kamudi, he thought that he was very important, and his mission was very, very important. There was nothing more important than what he was trying to achieve, a proper husband for his daughter Revati, right? So so we also think, maybe in a big illusion, that things that cross our path are very, very important, right? We think, wow, I'm having a challenge, paying my bills, I have to work, my wife has to work, this is not the best situation, I have bodily pains everywhere, this is not such a very nice situation to experience, right? So basically, sometimes we think what's happening in our life is the utmost importance, right? We're very proud of our importance in what we have to deal with. We're out of work. We have to figure out how we're going to get more work. So many challenges we have to deal with. And so I feel like what we need to do is be humble when we have these challenges and realize that whatever comes to us is our destiny, it's our karma. And when we think about the time factor that this Kamudi had passed when he went to Brahmaloka, when he went there, we have to realize that the time factor also affects us, from birth to old age to disease and ultimately death. And this has been going on. We've been in this prakriti, in this material world, which is eternal, since time immemorial. It's a hard grasp. Time immemorial. 8,400,000 species we've passed through. It's a long, long journey we've had. And somehow or another, here we are, blessed in a sense. Because Kala, the time factor, impacts us. However, when we are engaged in devotional service, we're worshiping the deity, we're sweeping the temple, we're worshiping Prabhupada, we're making vases for Srila Prabhupada. Whatever we may do, we are beyond the time factor. We're kind of situated in our eternal constitutional position. And I remember, I think it was maybe, who said this? I can't remember. One devotee I read said this, that, when you're engaged in all of these activities, you're in pure Krishna consciousness. And then sometimes when you leave and you're engaged in your work or your, relative dharma, sometimes maybe you slip out of that pure devotional mood. However, what saves us is what Srila Prabhupada gave us, is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the mercy of the holy name and the blessing to be able to sit in a beautiful temple like this with the association of all the devotees and be able to render service. Because when we are fixed in that service, we are situated in our eternal constitutional position, which is beyond time. It's eternal. And when we slip back, then we are stuck in time, right? So, yeah. So there's a couple of pastimes about great humility in our scriptures. Does anyone want to reflect or share some that they might know about, tremendous humility, which is required? Yes, Kunti Devi. Anyone have a mic or no? What, darling? My dear sister.
When the Lord wanted to enjoy the river Yamuna, and he was with his associates, as Lord Balaram, and she paid him no heed because they were quite having a good time, and so he called her and she
Would not
ignored
come.
him, and then he just stood up. He took his plow and he began to cut the earth. He said,
Right.
"You come now or I'll scratch you into 1,000,000 rivulets." So she immediately swallowed her pride and came with all humility with a new set of garments and jewels,
Beautiful.
begging forgiveness.
So she took a very humble position in the presence of Lord Balaram and his plow. Nice. Anybody else have some? Yes, Prabhu.
I was thinking about Sudama Brahman, and first of all, humility was that he was completely satisfied with whatever he had. His wife was, "Please go to Krishna and ask for," and he was like, "Oh, we're okay."
Mm-hmm.
His wife's humility too was it wasn't for her, it was for him. She was concerned about his health, and then he makes the trip, and then his humility is, he doesn't feel like whatever he has for Krishna is enough. So he hides it, he hides his gift for Krishna. But Krishna can smell it. He can smell out that Sudama has something for him.
Nice. Nice. Beautiful. That chipped rice. Anyone else have something to share? Prabhu, yes.
I was thinking about Supreme Lord's humility.
Uh-huh.
So when the Rajasuya Yagya was being performed, Lord Krishna himself took the service of receiving the guests. He was serving the guests and he was personally washing their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine the all-powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Lord Chaitanya, we see in Chaitanya pastime, when he's meeting with Prakashanand Saraswati, there were 60,000 disciples of his who were sitting, and he chose to sit all the way in the back.
Ah, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Shri Arjuna, when he was perplexed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he didn't know what to do, but by becoming humble, and he took, "Now I'm a soul surrendered unto you.
Please instruct.
Please instruct me."
Nice.
So
Very
we got
nice.
the Bhagavad Gita.
Beautiful. Very nice. Well, I was thinking of a pastime that I wrote out, which really struck my heart about a tremendous humility. And this is the pastime of Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was, his passing and leaving his body was imminent. And Lord Chaitanya comes before him. And he starts to speak. He says, "I am so fallen. I am so lowly. I'm not even a devotee. Just see, I am, right, my body is, abominable. And then at one point he says, even, what does it matter if an insect dies?" That's what he says, considering himself like this. So the ultimate emblem of humility for me is Haridas Thakur, because He was the Namacharya, a pure devotee of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya says, what are you saying, Haridas Thakur? You know, you're revered, you're worshipable. And so, such a humility. And I believe someone mentioned, and it's quite true, that the Muslims rejected him completely because he'd taken up, you know, chanting of the holy name. And the Hindus often rejected him, the caste Brahmins, because he was a Muslim. So he elaborates how fallen he is. I mean, like, what is the point? If, you know, an insect dies, such humility. And what does he ask from the Lord? He asks one boon. You are so merciful, my dear Lord. You're so kind and compassionate. Please, I have one request. Let me see you. Let me have darshan. Let you appear before me. And please put your head on my heart, on my chest. So, and his feet. Yes, the Lord's lotus feet on his chest, on his heart. So, to me, that is one of the highlights of humility. All of these things you've mentioned are certainly in our Shastra. There's many, many pastimes of humility. It's a big test for us, right? Trinadapi, Surichena, Tarorapi, Surichena, Amanena, Manena, Kirtanya, Sadahadi. It's for us. All of these things that we read in scriptures are for our benefit. Just like when Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita and Arjuna took the position of quote unquote being in illusion. It's for us. It's for us. For all of us to take the teachings of the Lord into our heart. So, you know, Srila Prabhupada came, and when he came, basically, to how many thousands and thousands of devotees did he save when Prabhupada came? He had, he was basically an immigrant. He had no status. He had no money. He had his little white shoes walking around, and it was one of the coldest winters in New York. Bitter cold. So he came, and he didn't have much of anything at that point. He didn't have fame. No one knew who he was. But he had spiritual purity. He's a pure devotee, spiritual potency, spiritual knowledge. Undeterred, completely surrendered to his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He says over and over again that it is his mercy, anything that has happened. Praises his spiritual master. And we have to follow in those footsteps and realize that whatever we've been blessed with, whatever we've been given, is all through the mercy of our spiritual master. My spiritual master, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, was very kind to me, so fallen. So very fallen. He was very kind. He gave us the holy name. In this temple, now in this day, all the fire juggers are done outside. But when we took initiation, there was a fire jugger right there. So many devotees attended. It was glorious. He chanted the full Brahma Samhita. And by his causeless mercy, he initiated myself and gave me the name Nandini Devi Dasi. And my husband, he named Kartikeya Das. And when he gave my husband his name, he said, I've given you this name, Kartikeya, because it sounds Italian. He was an ocean of mercy, very, very kind. So, I was thinking about another thing, and I jotted it down. Just stepping back, another incredible a mood of humility, and that's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he says over and over again, right? I am so sinful. I'm a liar. I'm a deceiver. I am always engaged. My life is always engaged in sinful activities. But what is the purpose of him taking that humble position? For us to show humility, but always he showed his inferiority, but he also was, it is Vaishnav humility for sure, but he was also showing how totally dependent he was of the Supreme Lord. Yeah. He was totally assuming. And so when I think of, we all have our anarthas, we all have our higher nature, and we all have our lower nature, right? Sometimes anger comes about in our consciousness. Sometimes sorrow. These are all the modes. We're affected by all of these things. Sometimes lamentation. So many things that impact our lives. And so what do? We rise above those modes when we're engaged in devotional service, when we're following the Yes, Hare Krishna. So, I was also thinking, the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada gave us spiritual senses, isn't it? To transcend our mind. And, Mahatma Prabhu has created this beautiful little booklet, and it's called Japa Meditations. I don't know how many people may have this, but some of the things. So I read this in the morning. We have two beautiful Tulsi Devis. We do our complete puja to our Giriraj and our Gaurnitai. We worship Tulsi. We worship Nrsingadev. But the point is that we when we deeply, Mahatma was saying, chant the holy name. I want to chant. I like to chant. I love to chant. That's one of the things he says. Another thing he says is that when you're chanting, you are welcoming Radha Krishna into your heart. You're out of your mind and you're into your heart. And let's see, one of the other things he says, yes, we're establishing, once again, through the holy name, our relationship with Radha and Krishna. There's several different points, but they're very beautiful, out of the mind into the heart. That's what we need to do when we're chanting the holy name. And be very prayerful to the spiritual master and to Srila Prabhupada, please help me on this path. Because without your help, without the help of all the devotees here, there's no hope for me. Without this Sangha, without the mercy of my spiritual master, and my beautiful dear husband, who is a rock and inspires me so much. No, he does. We've been married 50, how many years? 52 years. Ivo. Yes, we have. So time, with the rising and setting of the sun, time passes, right? Kala, very time. It's eternal. Prakriti is eternal. Ishvara is eternal. Jiva is eternal. But karma is not eternal. And karma, even though we have our karma from our past lives, by the mercy of this process that we've been gifted with, we can transcend and we can change our karma just by clapping your hands in front of the deities. Your karma is changed. So what a gift we've been given, truly, what a gift we've been given. And so time can be a gift to us all, and old age can be a gift. It can be a gift. Even we feel some aches and pains, it can be a gift. Because, and disease also, when you're diseased, everything I went through with this cancer led me to become very much closer in my spiritual life, to really realize, go deep in my spiritual life. So I wanted to just share a little story in closing. So, we offer prasadam with tulsi in our home, and then we sit, and we've been in front of our TV watching Indradurna Swami's lectures from Vrindavan. There's many, I think there's like 40 or something. It's called Stimulus of Divine Love, I think, isn't it? Stimulus of Divine Love. It's from the, that chapter, I think, is from the Nectar of Devotion. So in this particular class, he was sitting at the foot of Radhakund, giving an amazing lecture about Radhakund, just like heartfelt. And then he told a story how he was in a program and he was talking to the group about dreams. And he said, how many of you dream about Krishna? And this young girl, maybe your age, maybe, raised her hand and said, no, I dream about Radha. And she went, he said, into at least a 15-minute discourse about her dream, about decorating Radha, about putting flowers in her hair, about, garlanding her, putting jewels, details, he told this young girl. So we don't know who these children are. Who knows who these children are? Who knows who any of us are? But these children coming every day, who knows? So what he described in that was very beautiful. He said, the next day, I sat right next to her, and I took remnants from her plate. Hare Krishna. Indradurna Swami ki jai. So anyway, these are just a few of the things. Of course, we can just, reflect that, Lord Brahma says, no, Lord Balaram is here on the planet. And that's who you have to, give Revati to. So we know that that happened indeed. And we have so many pastimes of Balaram. It's unlimited. The pastimes we can. Kunti told one, and there's so many. So anyway, I just would like, if anyone wants to make corrections, comments, or
That class of Indradurna Swami, he said that he told the girl when he sat next to him, he said, wow, that's amazing. I would like to do that.
Oh, that's right.
And the girl says, well, you can't. I says, what do you mean? I can't. No, you can't, because you are in a man's body.
You're male, huh? She said, because you're male, you can't do this. What an amazing child. Yes, very beautiful. Who knows where any of us are? And these children are so amazing. Any comments, any questions, any realizations, corrections?
King Yudhisthira was questioned by his father, Dharmaraj, regarding the most wonderful thing, the most amazing thing that this person's father has died, their father's father has died, mother has died, but yet they think they're going to live forever. Would you help us understand a little more about that? Would you elaborate more?
Yes, spiritually we live forever, but these, material bodies, they're temporary. And yes, I believe in that past time, all of his brothers had taken this water and had died. And he came upon them and he was stunned, he was shocked, my beloved brothers. And that's when Damar says, okay, if you can answer these questions, and ask so many questions. And that was the final one, yes. So, we are eternal spiritual beings, and we experience that when we're engaged in devotional service, but we're just passing through. And when I leave this world, it's imminent. We're all going to leave. Old age is a knock on the door. It's coming quicker than you might like, but it's coming. And so when I leave, everything will still go on. Everything will still go on. Devotional service will go on. The devotees in this community will go on. You kids will grow and become great scholars, as you already are, yes, you. Yes, you'll grow and you'll become a great scholar, and she'll become a beautiful scholar also. Maybe I remember you guys dancing up on stage at the program. It was so great. Watched you guys. I thought, oh, how wonderful. Look at these beautiful kids doing this amazing dancing. So yeah, so that's how it is, We're all going to pass and things will still go on in this society. Yes, we get attached. Yes, quite attached to my grandchildren. Somehow or another, I just try and give them Krishna however we can. Offer prasadam. Chant with them. Krishna, Krishna, my little one would say. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. Hi, Krishna.
Hi, Krishna Madanandini. Thank you for very sweet class.
Mm-hmm.
So in this pastime, when Kakudmi takes Revati, we've also heard that Lord Balaram accepts Revati, but because she came from a different time, she was much taller, and then
That's right.
Balaram taps her with his plow, and he brings her to his
Right size.
to the size. I was looking for it in the Veda base. I didn't find that reference. Do we know if it is from the Bhagavatam?
I'm not sure. I remember that though, but I'm not sure. Krishna book. Mm-hmm. Nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for your nice class. I always feel emotionally blissful. That's the feeling I have in your classes. My question was, you were mentioning that you had some realizations when you were going through the treatment to go more deeper in Krishna consciousness. Can you share some of those so that it will also help us to go more deeper and take it more seriously?
Okay. 6 months of chemo was very intense, but I had the what is it? The VIHE classes. So I would put my earbuds in and listen to different lectures and different classes on VIHE, and it helped me to kind of transcend what was happening. That was very beautiful. Every time I would go in, I would be amazed, honestly, at what people were eating. What people were getting chemo, and they were eating junk food, drinking Coca-Cola, it was just lamentable. So that was one thing I did. Hearing is the essence, really, in this. It's the most powerful process, is to hear. So I would just put in those earbuds and listen to all these different Burijan, and there's so many amazing classes that are on BAG. So that helped me. During that time, I don't really believe I could have made it without the support and love of my husband, who was my hero during that time. So I believe, just like, Kunti was telling me about Narahari Das. Remember this devotee? Narahari Dev is in the hospital right now. Yes. And since Saturday at Baylor, and I'm really not quite sure what has happened with him, but we are praying for him. We should all pray for him. He just came with his good wife, who is right here, and from South India to put their son in the Gurukula, who's a young boy. Huh? Oh, from Canada. They came from Canada, but originally he's from South India. And so we should pray. We should definitely pray together for his well-being. He's traveled very far, and very sweet devotee. My husband and I really connected with him. So we can pray for this great soul and his wife, and support them in any way we can. Hare Krishna, Mishra Bhagavan.
Sanatana Goswami described himself as a reservoir of contaminated sinful activities.
Yes.
So I looked at that verse and I was just thinking, who is Sanatana Goswami? He's Lord Chaitanya's personal associate.
Mm-hmm.
He was sent to Vrindavan to resurrect, bring the holy places up, to
excavate,
write the Vaishnava literatures, to build temples, and he calls himself a reservoir of contaminated sinful activities. So how does that coincide?
Well, I think it's a great example for all of us. We see Narottam Das Thakur, so many great acharyas take that very humble position that I'm so fallen. I'm so fallen. But it is to show us the example and to show the humility of these great souls. Sanatana Goswami excavated Radhakund, Shamakund, did so much service for his beloved Lord. So that's how I see it, that it is an example for us. How can we be proud? How can we have any sense of pride when we see these great exalted devotees assume this meek and humble position? So I think it's an example for all of us to really go deep into our heart and our consciousness and understand. And also, we should praise and honor all the devotees and not take honor for ourselves. To see all the wonderful qualities that are in the devotee, and how much further I have to go when I see all the exalted devotees assembled here, near and far. So that's my realization. I don't know if anyone wants to share anything else in that regard, but I think it's a Anyone have any other, realizations they want to share about that? That's my realization. Prabhu, you want to share anything? Gokulananda? So special.
My spiritual master once he said, would be shocked only if we knew, the person sitting next to us, who that person is in the spiritual world, will be shocked.
Yes. Yep.
Hare Krishna. Then I was thinking, when you said you've been married for 52 years old, 52 years now.
Mm.
So I was thinking,
Probably before you were born.
yeah,
No
I
doubt.
just turned 50. So I was thinking what it takes: tolerance, service attitude, sacrifice, right? So all those wonderful qualities you both have exhibited. And whenever I see you, both of you, I've never seen you criticizing anyone. You're always glorifying. So I was thinking, we have these examples in the scriptures, all these wonderful saintly people who have been exhibiting those qualities, right, like such as humility. But we also have living examples, living legends here, And I was also thinking how special you both are. All the time serving others. And just now, this is such a live example. Narahari Dev Prabhu's wife was standing, and you were so sensitive about, you went to think about someone who is living in our community. So that reflects these qualities. We have this wonderful, not just you, there are so many such examples in this wonderful community. I feel so humbled, and also I think I don't have that gratitude. I should be more grateful for what Krishna has given me.
Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Madanandini.
Krishna.
I was also appreciating your stories of this child. Wow.
Isn't this wonderful?
So amazing. My experience one time with the children of our community, I was sitting up here taking darshan. What's Sham Keshava Prabhu's daughter's name? Aradhya. Aradhya comes up next to me, and she's talking to herself, and she goes, "Oh, wow, they haven't worn that outfit for a long time." And I was like, "What? I can't even remember what they wore yesterday."
Hare Krishna.
I was thinking in the evening, I can't even remember what they're wearing in the morning, what they're wearing today. And she's like, "Oh yeah, they haven't worn that outfit for a long time." I was like, "Oh my gosh." That's why I want to encourage all the young people, please have 5 or 6, 10 children.
Yeah, he wants everyone to have lots of kids. I hear
Krishna
this every
conscious
day.
children running all around. I read this verse last night in the purport, and I was thinking, wow, I don't know how I would do a whole class on this purport. And then watching you from this little tiny purport, expanding it in such a way was just amazing. And I think that it shows how amazing you did because of all the, we're still at 45 and we can't stop commenting and discussing about it. It's really amazing. You're masterful and it says, but Krishna
I just
says
hear from the great souls. I have
Krishna
little
says
realizations.
Krishna says in the
Very
Bhagavad
fallen.
Gita that my devotees enjoy conversating about me, and so your mood can't help us but conversate about Krishna. I was appreciating this point of humility and old age. I one time I asked my Guru Maharaj Hanumat Prashak Swami. I said, when am I going to take this serious? This Krishna consciousness. I was pretty frustrated in some things. He said, "Don't worry, just stay here, just keep going." He said, "Old age for the devotee is the best friend."
Yes.
When the body's shutting down, the mind's not working, you can't help but go, "I am not this body."
Hare Krishna. Beautiful.
So, thank you so much for a wonderful class.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, vanchakalpachubhascha, kripa sindhubhyevacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And actually, just in last comment, I feel that you are all so exalted, all of the devotees here. I'm very fallen, and I feel very blessed to be in your association. Hare Krishna. Thank you.